In this lesson, we'll use the wheel arches that we created as a basis to start building the side of the car. Alright, so here we've got the wheel arches placed, and they're kind of going to be landmarks for us. We know where those go. So now we can start to build geometry along the side here. Okay, so we can start out simply by just creating some kind of flat geometry in here, and then we'll go ahead and add some of this detail a little bit later on. But to start, I'm going to go ahead and select the wheel arches, and if you don't have these already attached, you need to go ahead and do that simply by going to attach and then clicking whichever of the other one that we have. Okay, so once you have those attached, we now need to create an edge selection. So we'll go ahead and go to edge subobject here, and we're going to select the same number of edges along each of these pieces. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and select 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 edges on this side, along with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 edges on this side. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back into perspective mode, perspective view here, so we can see what this looks like. And now to create geometry between these edges, we've got the same number of edges selected. It'll also work with a different number of edges, although your topology will not be what you want it to be. We're going to go down to the Edit Edges Rollout, okay, here in the Modify panel, and we're going to find something called Bridge. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and if I click on that, it'll just bridge those across with particular settings. If I go ahead and undo that and go into the settings, you can see that I can change the number of segments if I want to. And then there are a couple of other settings that we're not going to worry about right now. So I can go ahead and change that, and if I go ahead and look in the side view, you can see how those divisions are in there. If I don't want to add those divisions just yet, I could go ahead and just do no segments. Okay, one segment actually, which this would be our segment, and then I can go in and add those later where I need them to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and choose that route. All right, so bridging is a great way to create geometry between different pieces. Keep in mind that they have to be attached, and also that keep in mind that you can also use this with polygons. So if you had polygons that you wanted to bridge across, if you had particular, in this case these two, you could also bridge those together as well. You don't have to just use edges. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be a really great tool for your toolbox here under Edit Polygons, Rollout, and in the Modify panel. So now that we've got some quick geometry built in along the side, let's go ahead and in the next lesson start to extrude up the geometry for the side of the car. So we've got a little bit going on here. Let's go ahead and continue this by building up the side of this vehicle. So we'll go ahead and do that in the next lesson.